I'm walking down the street.
I do want to say to Doni and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
I may not look like you and you me, but
my head up.
I'm South Carolina, so I just
got it.
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Morris?
Oh, my heart.
Happy 20th anniversary.
My heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? John.
And dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself. There's a
the doctor lived next door to the janitor, to the reverend, and the lawyer. We were together. Now we get so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Doni, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it for all and more.
letting His glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. And I dare you, I dare you, I dare you to be you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a very important topic. I want the whole world. I'm sending a text because this is a topic that I run across all the time. I know a little bit. I think I know something. And then in other ways, I feel like I don't know anything about it at all because it's all so new. Is it ethical? Is it unethical? Is it moral? Is it immoral? It can be applied to most any discipline, any industry. And folks, we're talking about artificial intelligence. I want to thank Mr. Alexis Coates, a friend, sometimes a bully, and he pushed this guy, Jeff Scruggs, on me, who's a bully in his own right, but we're going to pass him the ball and let him do his thing. Thank you for your patience, Mr. Scruggs. What is AI?
AI, artificial intelligence, which is essentially artificial intelligence, machines that can do what a human can do. I like to put AI under three umbrellas. You have artificial intelligence, which is very general. Then you have machine learning, more of a statistical approach. And then you have data science, which is where you're just kind of working with the data. And then people ask, like, how can you apply AI to your life? If you can break any problem down to a number, you can apply artificial intelligence to whatever problem you're using. So there's
Can
that.
AI solve racism?
AI can create equity. So you can
No,
take
it
the
can't.
bias
No,
out
it
of
can't.
it.
I disagree because they tell me the people doing the programming are all white males. So how can they do equity?
Because you're not programming color into the program. It's just
Oh no,
right.
but you're programming values.
The AI comes up with that. So for instance, when you have your phone recognize your face, it doesn't look for a black or white person, just looks for a human with a face, and it unlocks your phone. I think the next tier will be essentially us being against machines,
I do. I watch a lot of futuristic movies. I might be older than you. I think I got you by about 20 years or so. But those futuristic movies, my biggest concern, I don't see a lot of black people in the movies.
Yeah, there's that one iRobot, Will Smith,
I'm not a minority. I mean, in America, we might be viewed as a minority, but globally, and I do have a passport.
Yes.
I dismiss and reject those notions as if, you know, I'm a small part of the human family, when in all actuality, we're the oldest member of the human family.
That is true. And I also think this is my opinion. I think Black people are more have a natural affinity towards this kind of technology. You look at like in movies like Wakanda, you know, Black Panther, how we were so technologically advanced.
What about Egypt?
What about Egypt? There you go. There you go. The
You know what
technology.
gets me? And we just got off the phone with a lady. She was in a sorority, and we didn't get into what I really feel about fraternities and sororities. But I'll be damned if I want to be Greek. And there's no slight to anybody who's pledged, because I almost pledged. But the basic concept of me wanting to be Greek, I'm Black. Why do I want to be Greek? Because the Greeks went to Egypt. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, they got this information from Egypt and brought it back to Greece and made it their own. I can't do that. I cannot lie to myself today, yesterday, tomorrow. I can't do that. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Egyptian, African.
Yeah.
So,
I
go
can't
to
speak
school
on Greek.
and
I'm
you
not
telling
Greek
me,
myself. I can't speak on Greek. I'm not Greek myself. But you know, it all goes back to Egypt to create those.
oh, but you are a Mason.
I am a Mason, but that's not Greek.
It's not. I'm not trying to take on anything from the Greeks. I'm saying our ancestors already have put down the laws of math and science, of history, of technology. There are perfect pyramids in Egypt today that have been there for thousands of years.
That are aligned towards the center of the universe.
Yeah, all of the lines, the light, eclipses.
Yes.
The sun.
And these systems, you know, they all go back to Egypt. Have you heard of the Egyptian mystery schools where they taught things of like the nature of life, the universe, and stuff like that?
Some have said that Jesus has studied there.
Yeah, he definitely would. They don't talk about what he did before he was 30. You know, he traveled across lands. How did he just learn to do these miracles? You know, he went to Asia. He went to Tibet. He went to Egypt. You know, he had to learn these things. He was a part of a group called the Essenes. He wasn't the only healer of his time. You know, they were. He learned from groups of healers, and now after he grabbed that knowledge, he came back to the Middle East and Israel and such like that, and did his mission.
And the Bible said he was a black man, hair like wool, skin burnt.
Yes, indeed. Otherwise,
so we grow up with so many things we have to deconstruct.
Yeah, it's true. Luckily, I feel as though it's kind of like a renaissance of Black folks right now. I think the internet has helped greatly with our knowledge and information. Before, we were just constrained to certain bubbles. Now being woke and just being knowledgeable is a lot more open and accepted, and a lot more people are able to be put on.
Bro, you would not believe how many people. Once I started learning about Black Wall Street, I was blown away how many people knew nothing about Black Wall Street.
Yeah, with Tulsa?
It starts with Tulsa, but there are two other official Black Wall Streets. But then you look at the notion of Black towns.
Yeah.
Oklahoma had 70 to 80 Black towns. East Texas had over 500 Black towns. America has 450 mound pyramids.
So I heard that the crash that happened in 2008. Part of that was to strip away a lot of the wealth in PG County. Because PG County was essentially probably the
wealthiest Black jurisdiction in the country.
Yes, in the country. Yeah, and when the crash happened, a lot of people lost their homes and such like that. They kind of lost that #1 spot.
There was a
But
lot of
that's
bad
kind of
credit going around. People
yep,
borrowing money they shouldn't have borrowed. People were giving money who shouldn't have been given money.
right,
And the
right.
sad part is, it wasn't for private school tuitions in many instances. It was for a BMW to be in the driveway.
Yeah, yeah. I think, you know, of course, there's reparations, but I think we need to psychologically fix our mindset before just giving a dollar amount. You know, you give, you give, you give our people 100K and they blow it on a car. You know, like, what, are we ready for reparations? I think that's a better question.
We're just as ready as anybody else. Now, granted, we
Mhm.
do need to do some crash course testing, but when they were
Yeah.
giving up land in the Homesteaders Act, you ever
Oh,
heard of
I'm definitely.
Oklahoma Sooners? When there was that
Yeah,
race to go get land, they ain't check none
yeah.
of their credit. They ain't ask them how much, what their daddy did for a living with their mom. They just, hey, give us the same shot at it. And if a cat
Hmm.
blow his inheritance on a Lamborghini, that's his stupidity.
Hmm. I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. I also think there's like a divide.
Stupid is stupid. Whether you got what would you leave your kid? $1 million of common sense. You had to choose one.
Common sense.
Because you can leave him $1 million and he'd be broke tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Gamble it away. You never know. But common sense will get them their million themselves. You know.
Did you say he'll gamble it away?
I said they could gamble it away if they didn't have any common sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy. You know, we were just talking about that over the weekend. Easily in our community, the discussion is, oh, that person's on drugs, or that person drank too much. But there's another addiction that doesn't get enough attention, and that's gambling.
Yes, it's. Oh my goodness! I was just dealing with that previous relationship. It can get rough, man. And it's, you know, it's just as much of addiction. You know,
Damn
gambling so
skippy
bad.
it is. People, look, I do events, and they like, Donnie, you should do an event at the casino. I love my people. I ain't dragging my people no damn casino. Have you been in a
No,
casino? Like a damn death trap. It's like a damn crack spot. It's just everybody depressed.
yeah, and you know they pump oxygen into the casino so that people stay awake all throughout the night. You know, it's horrible. Like it's just, and I don't gamble. I couldn't. It just, if I can't see a strategy, I don't like to lose either. I don't like a chance that I may win money. You know, unless I have a sure way. You know, I don't like to gamble. You know,
House
and people
always
do this.
wins.
Yeah, yeah. House always wins in the long run.
And I
You
don't
know.
want, I imagine there's some type of dopamine or some type of adrenaline or some type of
Yeah. When you get that
chemical
first
that's
hit,
released.
man.
Yeah,
When you get to
with
that first
that
hit,
win, I
yeah,
don't want it.
yeah. You get all the lights. It's like a video game. You know, they get you real hooked in.
I've seen
And
people play that one-arm bandit all night.
I know it's
And I don't
bad.
mean at the
It's bad.
casinos, I mean at these corner bars and lounge.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Playing a
Exactly. They
one-arm
have one at
bandit
a
all
gas
day and
station,
night.
and people just be there. But that's it goes to show how easily people can be controlled and manipulated. You know,
I learned from
you know,
pinball.
if
You
you
remember
understand the human
pinball
psyche.
machines?
I remember pinball. But
That's
at
where
least
I
that was a
learned.
game. At least
It
that was
was
a
a
game. Like I
game,
was
but
having
it would
fun.
take my quarters. I said,
Yeah,
enough of this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All the lights and bells and whistles. It was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed that. But no, I'm not gonna bet. I'm not gonna bet my car a house.
I'd
You
rather
know.
just buy a pinball machine and play it that way.
Exactly. Exactly. Or code a video game. I remember they had the little pinball machines on the old Windows computers. You know, and you could play the game that way and stuff like that. It was real nice.
You see people on the bus, on mass
Hmm.
transportation, or the train,
Hmm.
and they
Hmm.
all in their phone. And you look over there. Are you playing a game?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They got the. I think the dangerous thing is now you can get casinos and like what is it? Gambling. You can play the slots right from your phone.
That's the danger, big bro.
That is the danger. That is the danger. And
Because
yeah.
now the casino is in your
Hmm.
hand. And
Yep.
that's what made me mad at the little comedian, little man. What's his name?
Kevin Hart.
And the basketball player, Kevin Garnett.
LeBron. Oh, Kevin Garnett.
No, it wasn't LeBron. It was Kevin Garnett and Jamie Foxx. The three of them. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, this was a year and a half ago, they were doing commercials in Maryland.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I was talking about them on this show. Dude, y'all got to go. We don't need y'all using your celebrity status to tell us to gamble.
Yeah. It's all about how you use your influence, your power. Like, are you using it for vices, to push vices, or are you using it to push virtues? What are you trying to do with your influence, with your power? I have a question for you, Doni. If you had a choice between power and money, what would you choose? But before we do that, what is your definition of power?
I would imagine power is the ability to get people to do what they wouldn't otherwise do.
So influence?
Influence. Power determines who gets what, when, where. And I would imagine there are many levels to it. In conversations over the years, there's been talk of the famous families, the few families that control the rest of the world. At the end of the day, I think the greatest power is love. I think it's light and it's darkness.
Yeah.
I would have to think about that to give you the most intelligent answer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, because you could have can you have power and not have money, or can you have money and not have power? A lot of us think if I have the money, then I can get anything done. How many politicians have we seen with a pocket full of money? The lady name was Miller. She ran in the last citywide election. She had a boatload of money, no power. You got Fox News. They put their influence over other candidates, and Fox News then, but do they have the power to make a candidate? No. They've got money, but they don't have power. They did have the power to convince Black people that Fox convinced Black people to cut our own throats. They told us, vote for term limits, because the people down City Hall don't need to stay there but so long. Time out, Black people. Put your thinking caps on. It took you 55 years to get this level of power. Now you're going to let these ignorant people who don't live in your city tell you, oh, yes, it took you from 1970 to 2025 to get this power. But now you should say we only want it for this long. What kind of stupid are we? I'm talking about term limits. They ain't saying about term limits because we don't remember when white people were in office. But now the Black people, you got a Black governor, Black attorney general, Black treasurer, Black speaker of the House, Black mayor, Black comptroller, Black city council president, Black state's attorney. Oh, y'all need term limits. What kind of stupid are we?
Damn.
Got to be the dumbest mugs.
I think back to that power, I think having compassion throughout the entire thing, I think that is key with whatever you're doing.
Look at Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, billionaire, the one who had the Freak Island and had all of the presidents, the Clintons and the Trumps and all of the people go to Freak Island with the little kids and pedophilia and all of that. He had a pocket full of money, and they found him necktie party in a cell, dead.
Yeah, because so I saw this. There was, he had a lot of people, a lot of clients, big names and stuff like that. But somebody had the power to where this guy was in maximum security prison, and was able to make it so that in the middle of the night, all the doors just opened up. in his cell. And then, the other prisoners did what they did, took him out while he was in jail. Someone had the power to influence that decision and take this guy out so that nobody else gets caught.
So we've seen
Um,
you can have money and you can have power, but if your intentions are ill, see, I believe there's a God that sits high and peeps low. So
I
if I
agree.
do have the power, if I do have the money, I pray to God that I can be the same person that my mother and my father raised me to be a good person.
Yeah. I also think I saw in the chat money can buy power, but not every person can be bought. If you already got money, what good is your money to me? Why do I have to do what you say if I already have money? If you give me 100K, I already got 100K. You can't buy me out. And even if it goes completely against my moral code, I simply won't do it. I'll step away.
You are a
Uh,
rare breed, Jeffrey Stanford Scruggs. You are a rare breed. And I pray that you always maintain that integrity beginning in and of yourself, not for publication, but for you when you look in that mirror in the morning.
yeah, I
I
agree.
pray that you love what you see in that mirror based on what kind of life that you live.
Yeah, that's the only way you get through life, in my opinion, man. I don't, because I get guilty about some of the smallest things, man. So I always try to move with integrity. That's just me. I know some people can just do grimy things and not feel any type of remorse. Um,
Do you think it comes back
unfortunately,
around? Do you believe in karma?
oh yes, I do believe in karma. I also believe, if it don't come back in this life, it'll come back in the next one. Uh,
Woo, woo. Mm.
so it may not, and I also think, it's not always it's
Or on
not always
us, sometimes it hits our children.
yeah, it's our children. Exactly.
The
Exactly.
sins of the father. You ever hear that?
Yes, 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 yes. And I also think, like, when you it's not always completely like relative. So you could help somebody in one way, but let's say you bless somebody financially in one way. It may not come back to you financially in another way. It could be like, oh, the health of your mother was restored, or
Jeffrey, should we
an
do things?
opportunity just came through for your brother.
Should we do things looking for something?
You should not. You should do it. You should do
Because
it.
we can.
You because you can. Because you can. Um, it should. I think a lot of people do things with expectation. I'm going to get something back, but you should do it just because you have a giving spirit. You know.
And the
And I think that's
world
how
and
you.
religion helps further confuse us with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I am a defender of religion, because I'd rather live in a world that I'd rather live in a country that is religious than a country that has no God. I think a vast majority of people, they need some sort of structure. If you get rid of that structure, people kind of learn. For the vast majority of people, they kind of just
Well, Jeffrey,
lose the message.
now
Yeah,
you getting deep now. So
yeah, yeah.
at 58, I believe I'm a traditionalist.
Hmm.
Basic values, starting with
Hmm.
respect your father and your mother.
Hmm. Hmm.
Today,
Yeah,
not everybody believes that.
yeah, yeah. But
Today,
you look at
some
most.
people are of the ilk, like they'll say, and just had this discussion over the weekend, times have changed. Some things don't change.
Hmm.
Meaning, I heard a mother tell me she's afraid of her child.
Hmm.
I don't know what your daddy told you, but I'm going to tell you what mine told me. I brought you in this world
Hmm.
and I will take you out.
Take you out. Yep. Well, you also look at, like, there's a lot of fatherless homes. I
70%
think
in
it
our community.
exactly. And to raise men, you need some sort of father figure. I love the sisters, but it's very hard for a woman to, raise a man, and you see a lot of issues. you need positive male role models. You know, I think
And
we don't.
somebody that will
We
body
have
slam that chump if he get out of line.
exactly. You need
We
somebody
don't
to put
want
him
to
in check.
body slam him, but he need to
Yeah,
know
yeah. He
that
need
the
to know.
threat of violence is there. Young
Yeah,
black
yeah.
men, and this is why, for all of you people out there asking the question, don't beat little people, let me help you out. As a black father, if you don't put the fear of God in your child, you leave it for the 5-0 or the CO. And if you don't know what those are, then that's your problem. You leave it
I
for
don't know the
5-0
5
or the CO. That's what it is.
Yeah, they need some help. They need some help.
Black men make up 35% of America's incarcerated persons. America incarcerates 25% of the world's inmates.
Yeah.
America, we're only 5% of the population worldwide. But every 1 in 4 incarcerated persons are in America. China got more people than we do, 1.5 billion. We got 400 million.
But you know, it's America's set up that way. You know, they don't want, black men up. That would be counterintuitive to the foundation. I think a lot of the
Why do
issues
you
and
say that?
ills of America, I think a lot of issues and ills of America will be a lot further ahead globally if they shared the power. I think sometimes America, and let me explain this. I think sometimes, for instance, like the food, like we could have great quality food for everybody, but if we did, we it may not it may affect certain groups that we don't want to be uplifted with the food supply. So we have to poison the whole food supply, or most of the food supply. Otherwise, certain groups may elevate. If America was just like, you know what, we need the best for everybody, we'd be so much further ahead as a country. I think
Too
it's the
many
sharing of
people,
power
too many
that is
people are,
America's issue.
too many people live in fear, brother.
hmm
Even though their great granddaughter is mixed,
hmm
they still live in fear.
I still think I think we're getting better over time, though. I know that's a
Yeah,
controversial statement.
I agree.
I think change takes time. Progress takes time from generation to generation. It gets better. Um, and Yeah, I look at things from my grandparents or great grandparents, their stories, and I look at it today. I'm like, dang, things are a lot further ahead. And this goes back to the AI talk. I think it will bring prosperity and equality because, like, we'll have more time to do what we want to do. You know, uh, for instance, every technological revolution in the industrial age, people were working like 60-hour weeks, 70, 80-hour weeks, sunrise, even the kids. Because of the industrial revolution, we moved to a 40-hour work week. Now, because of this AI revolution, I think we're going to be working 4 hours a day for 4 days a week. Um, and I think we'll have a huge abundance of the quality of life and everything. I've seen AI being used to clean the seas. I've seen it used to pick the perfect crop because like when you're going through these fields, you usually have someone manually doing it for certain seasons. You can have an AI system just go through the entire field, see, okay, this is like 99% ripe. Let's cut that, and it has good eyes for it, and it does it very efficiently and it can do it at scale.
How would
So
that work? What would AI be in a camera?
yeah, essentially have a camera or like little robotic system. It goes through the fields. It sees like crops and stuff like that. It makes a little cut, and puts it in the bag. I've also seen AI use like it goes through a field and it as it's going through the field, it sees all the weeds and it sends a little zap to all the weeds that it goes across the field. So
What's
it
to
destroys.
stop a mug from China, from North Korea, from
Mhm.
hacking into that AI system, and instead of reducing the weeds, it adds in weeds?
Well, you also have systems where you can tell, if you're being hacked, or you have safeguards in place, like to monitor those kind of things. So, oh, someone's trying to get in, you got a perfect firewall for that. You also have good offense. You have to have a good defense as well. And though it's very hard to penetrate from China a system locally in the U.S.
Oh no, it's
Um,
called TikTok.
so TikTok gathers information. Um, However, like for instance, for
And I love
someone,
TikTok.
I love TikTok too. I think the algorithm is very addictive. I wish, but I think like for someone
I like
to,
it because it gives me an option, because Facebook and Instagram want to paint me as a racist too many damn times
uh,
or
yeah,
something. Because all I know is I found myself in something called Facebook jail.
oh yeah. If you post too much controversial stuff, they'll put you in the jail cell for like take a break for 2 weeks. Come back, reset the mind. But I like how you have this. You can stream this on multiple platforms. I think you're doing good. You have a
Tell me
great name.
about Alexis Coates. How did you come across Alexis Coates?
He's a Masonic brother. And not to speak too much on that, but we've been in proximity a lot. Also, he had a book sale recently, and I came out and supported him and stuff like that. I always try to support whoever I'm talking to, whether they're Masonic or friends or family, whatever. I think I find joy in giving back. I feel it. It feels good to do good. I'm a firm believer in that.
Where'd you get that from, Jeffrey?
I made that myself. That's off the top. That's me. It feels good to do good. So yeah, I always I have a joy for people. I like talking to people. Everybody's like, I want to be to myself. I just like people. So I'll be out. On any day. Just talking to random people, trying to. One goal of mine. This is a personal goal. Is when I'm older, I want to be able to talk to somebody within a day or like in a few hours and become their best friend and figure out what problems they have and how to properly solve them. I'm trying to be like the wise king. I hear your problem. I'm like, okay, I got it. This is what you need to do, or give you the tick in your mind for you to figure it out yourself. Sometimes you can't feed everybody, the answer. Sometimes they have to come to it on their own and act accordingly. One
Here's
thing
the
I'm trying
problem.
to,
Here's a solvable problem.
yeah.
Baltimore is 9-1 Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats are lousy at business. How do we make Baltimore a 9-1 traditionally Democratic city that is poor in terms of its business savvy? How do we make Baltimore a business center?
You get people that are business minded to speak to the community. And it may be from out of state. There are a lot of very. Here's the thing when it comes to the community. I feel people are scared to go into community and talk to people, and speak to people, and shake hand, and actually put in proper programs. I think a lot of times people start that, but then they get sidetracked and they forget the mission. Um, I think you have to find a way to connect people and build community. Um, yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts?
I'm learning from you. You the teacher today, bud. I think a part of the challenge is, let's see what Michael Randall. AI is being used to generate stem cells that produce cells for people to walk again, and use to reproduce cells for people with Alzheimer's, and this is just the beginning. I think a part of the challenge here in Baltimore is you got to understand the history.
Yeah.
Baltimore was where segregation in America began. 1910, Roland Park. They built Baltimore's first suburban garden community, and the rich white people, some of them that lived there, half of them, many of them, I don't know, said they didn't want to live. They didn't want black people to be able to move into their neighborhood. So I don't know how you fix that type of stinking thinking. Maybe just let nature take its course, and when they get some mixed grandchildren, then they'll figure out that being a racist is just stupid. But they created these laws, and these laws were replicated across Baltimore and across America, such that Baltimore is known as the home of segregation.
I learned something new right there.
1910, the mayor was J. Barry Mahou. And a lot of these people have the same mentality still today, including people who live in Roland Park. They are still stuck on stupid.
Yeah. So I think one thing is one thing I'm currently learning is, you know, throughout our history in America, nothing was ever given to us. We had to take it. You know, we had to push the needle forward, you know. So I'm trying to figure out, how do you ignite that spark into people so that they do more, so that they want to do better for themselves in the community, because a lot of people are just looking out for themselves, you know.
They need therapy.
They need therapy.
See, black people can get all the therapy in the world for the racism and other injustices, but if white people don't get no therapy, what's the point? I mean, you healthy, but you living next to somebody who is unhealthy.
Yeah.
They calling the police on you because you out Central Park in New York City watching birds.
Yeah.
That's sick. And now that you got this social media, I mean, we're seeing instances today in the 21st century where old white guy says something slick to a black person in the convenience store, and the black person two-pieces him, and then it goes viral. And nobody really wants to see violence.
Nobody does.
Nobody really. I mean, despite all that we've seen, I don't want an old white guy to go out there and call this young black guy the N-word, because I know that young black guy gonna beat the crap out of him. Why would I want to see that? Just don't call that man out his name. Give respect. Just like when I hear, you know, many times men have said the B word to women.
Yeah.
Eliminate it, bruh.
Yeah.
You don't want nobody to call your mother, your sister, your daughter that. So let's just get rid of it altogether. But it's kind of hard. It's kind of diabolical when you see women calling each other, or they say, "I'm the baddest B."
Yeah, I think another thing is you know, different cultures, different views. You know, some certain things among. I think also having like social awareness is important. You know, so I could talk to my bro a certain way and it's fine. You know, in certain situations, I can talk to my father a certain way, fine. I may curse with my friends, but I'm probably not going to curse around my mom, you know, out of respect. You know, it's just situation and awareness is important. So regardless, you know, people say, oh, it's just a word, you know, get over it. You know, I mean, like, regardless, you're being called out your name. So would you do that to anyone? Would you call anyone out their name? You know, is wrong, you know? So, you know, that I think that's what it really comes down to. I think having situational and social awareness is very important. I think a lot of people don't know how to communicate properly. I think networking and communication needs to be taught. You know, I think a lot of people, especially today, and because of this technological age, you know, we're so inside into our phones and stuff like that. And I personally, I don't like to text. You know, I can't stand texting. If it's something quick, sure. But I'm the main person to
Not
get
for a
somebody on the
damn
phone.
business decision.
Yeah.
Me and you, we had to coordinate. Okay, we changed schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, the text is okay, but first, hear that voice. Hey, Jeffrey,
yes,
we got to do
voice.
something.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. And no excuses. Oh my God, no excuses. If today we had a mishap, it's my job to contact you. Hey, woody woo, bing, 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 boom, boom, boom. That's on me. not hiding behind technology.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you definitely, you can't hide behind technology. I think people need to learn how to communicate better. Yeah, I think that's really what comes down to.
So what are you doing with AI?
Right now, actually, I'm giving a talk later this week at a Diversitech conference in Philadelphia. I'll be teaching a group of people how to build their own chat GPTs, so that you can have this AI trained on whatever data you have. So if you have a book that you want chat GPT to really understand or document or news feeds or whatever, you can just upload that, and then the AI will understand it and you can ask questions about it. And then I'll also have I'm actually adding a bonus where there is a voice component, so that you can listen to what the AI is saying. You don't have to just read the text. You can actually listen to it, and it speaks very, very well. So that's what I'm doing.
Can you choose the accent?
To a degree, there's a lot of voices you can choose from.
I mean, because I've always wanted to get a British accent.
Yeah,
like,
I think they got.
welcome
they have that.
BeMoreNews.com.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. Get it to say that.
Where's this conference?
It's in Philadelphia.
On the corner?
Yeah.
At the Love Center?
It's at the convention center that they have going on there. It's gonna be all week. And yeah,
have you been before?
I've never been before. I was actually invited to speak because I did a talk for Baddies in Tech, which is a company that helps women of color get into technology. And I did a
what's it called?
Baddies in Tech. That's the name of the company.
And this is BADDIES?
Yes, in tech. And they help women of color get into technology. I did a workshop for them, and that got pushed out. And because of that, the people at Diversitech saw that, and they wanted me to do a workshop for them in Philadelphia. So it's kind of like a snowball effect, you do one thing, and then more opportunities show up, and you just keep putting in the work, and things compound.
Are there enough Black people in the AI space?
There's always opportunity for more. I don't think. I think we need to learn how to use AI tools. I don't think there's that many people in general in the AI space, unless you're doing research,
So check this out. Look, Jeffrey, you've been studying AI for a decade.
6 years.
6 years.
It just blasted off in 2017. Yeah.
Okay, 2017.
Yeah, that's when Renaissance.
So if I meet somebody who's been in AI a year and they tell me that they are an expert, if somebody tells you they've been in AI a year and they tell you they're an expert, what thoughts come to your mind?
I start asking them, how can you build a neural network? Are you just making calls to other AI systems? Like, are you using ChatGPT and saying, "Oh, I'm an AI expert"? Do you understand the science and theory behind AI? Do you understand how to train data? How do you make your own systems? Or are you just using someone else's AI and saying I'm an expert? That's a big difference. It's like,
how do you make your own system?
You have to do a lot of programming. You have to understand. So, like, for instance, I did a very entry-level basic AI systems when you can get an AI to recognize objects. So I did a workshop where you basically feed a bunch of data. The goal of this AI was to be able to upload a cat or a dog and for it to be able to understand the basic. But this can be built upon. And in order to do that, to get an AI to understand if it's a cat or dog, any cat or dog, is you have to feed it thousands of images of regular cats and dogs. From there, it begins to learn the patterns of what is a cat and what is a dog. There's a lot of training involved. You have to monitor as it's learning. From there, You have to test it against dogs and cats it's never seen. From there, you have your system completely built, and now it understands those objects. Um, but that's kind of the gist of it. Without getting too technical. High level. There's a lot of coding involved. You have to use a lot of programs and stuff like that, libraries to make the system come together. So there's a lot that goes into ChatGPT.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think there's alien technology from other planets that we can learn from as humans?
I think, I think things are coming out now that a lot of these aliens are more spiritual and they've always been here. A lot of these craft are coming from the sea, I don't know the answer. I have my yes, they're coming from the sea. A lot of these craft, the majority of them are coming from the sea, and we're trying to explore space, but we've only seen about I think like 10% of the sea. We only know about 10% what's underneath of us. We haven't mapped out the entire ocean. And you hear stories of like things of Atlantis and stuff like that. There could be a civilization down there, but I've heard a lot of these craft are coming from the sea.
Wow.
Yeah.
What country is AI global?
Yeah, all the first world countries are developing AI. It's currently an AI arms race right now between us and other competitors.
AI what?
AI arms race, because it's like the nuclear. It's like the nuke, It's like an arms race, Whoever can get the best AI.
Who's got the advantage? Who's winning?
We do.
You say that very confidently.
I do. I've been in the sphere for a while. But yeah, we're definitely winning. There's countries like China that are catching up, but we are ahead.
Russia?
I mean, they have AI systems, but they're nowhere near, America's.
Really?
Yeah, nowhere.
So where does one go to learn AI?
There's a lot of things you can learn online. You can go, of course, to universities and stuff such like that. You can always get a workshop. I think the best way, to learn technical is just to read books and read the documentation, learn how to program, and from there you can build upon that and learn the theories of AI. Like I did not have a formal education in AI 5 years ago because there weren't any degrees in it, yet. It was kind of a branch of software engineering. So I just did a bunch of Udemy courses and YouTube videos and Udacity.
Udemy?
Yeah, Udemy. Yeah, it's a Udemy. Essentially, it's a website where you can learn. You can take online courses and stuff like that. So I just did a bunch of that like 5 years ago, and I became proficient in it. I've been doing it for 5 years. Learned a lot on the job, and I recently just received my master's in software engineering. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
How do you spell Udemy?
Udemy. Yeah, they have a lot of courses, anything you can think of there, Yeah.
Why was it important for you to do this interview? Have we accomplished what you sought out to accomplish?
Well, Alexis actually pushed me to do this. I was asked to do the interview, so I'm like, okay. This is. I think it is because I'm getting practice. I eventually want to do more speaking engagements. So I think this
So
is
he
more
put you in
of
the
a
ring with
practice.
the old pro so I could hit you with some body shots, huh?
Yeah. So this is practice for like the bigger rings that will come later on. So that's how I look at it. I think all experience is good. So it's just kind of giving me kind of like a exposure.
How early, Jeffrey, do you foresee AI in the classroom?
I mean, it's already there. Kids are using ChatGPT to get past to pass their classes. Um, uh, I know right now that I just saw an article that Baltimore City has an AI system that's being implemented so that they can see whether kids are bringing weapons into the school systems. So it's already here.
I
When
was
you
thinking
start to
more
use
of
it,
like how to use AI in
mhm.
instruction.
um, I have a friend who's a Forbes under 30 he has built an AI system for mental health. So everybody has these little, they want to talk in forums and stuff like that, but you can have an AI personal counselor that knows everything about you and that is very trained and proficient, can pass board exams and everything like that. You can have it as a put it for kids, friendly, like, oh, I'm feeling depressed today. It can ask questions, um, and understand your child. I think AI is a tool. It depends how you use this tool or intelligence for good or nefarious purposes. I think
May
that's
is
really
Mental Health Awareness Month.
yes, yes, and yeah, I think it also will be used to map out the brain and stuff like that. I think we can. I know they're creating interfaces where I think when we understand the brain, we can essentially use AI to fix a lot of the mental illnesses that we have. Although I feel a lot of mental illnesses are spiritual in nature, like when people feel anxiety, you know, I controversial. I feel like anxiety is from your environment, like let's say you go into a crowd that has a lot of people, you just feel kind of anxious, that could maybe there's negative energy or something like that. I feel anxiety is more external and nervousness is more internal here. So yeah, that's how I feel. Um, but I think like I said, I think we're entering a golden age. I saw a AI that is being used to help people have lucid dreams because when you have a lucid dream, your brain is in a certain state. It's like giving off stuff. So it's basically using AI to map that and then push that state into the mind so that you can dream whenever you want. Have lucid dreams. Um, yeah, yeah. It's
Can
called
AI,
mhm.
I'm sorry,
No, I was gonna say it's called prophetic AI. And
prophetic
that's
AI.
yeah. Um, and it's built off of like Morpheus and dreams and stuff like that. So I'll send you a link after this.
So how can people stay abreast of you? When are you coming back? We're not letting you go.
Hmm.
Honestly, I think you should have a show on this network, or we should schedule you to come back on a regular basis. I mean, this has been wow. Jeffrey
Yeah.
Scruggs, CTO, Venture for Them. Tell us, what is CTO and what's Venture for Them?
So I am the chief technology officer for Venture for Them. Venture for Them is a black and brown company. I mean, it is a company that helps black and brown companies get grants, business ideas, kind of like the Black Shark Tank. That's what we like to tell people. We also, we hold pitch competitions for students, entrepreneurs, where they can pitch ideas. We give them money. Um, we also have our own conferences where we actually had something called the HBCU Universe Summit recently in February for Black History Month, where we had a summit for mainly HBCU students and alumni. Everybody was invited. We partnered with the White House. They brought 6 government agencies down to help us, with job opportunities for students. We had a dynamic list of speakers. We had workshops. We had a metaverse component for people that want to be there. And we even had a congratulations from Vice President Kamala Harris as well as Governor Westmore.
Have you ever met Dr. Tyrone Taborn?
I haven't. I've heard that name before.
So Dr. Tyrone Taborn is a huge sponsor of this show and this network. He runs Career Communications Group. His latest book is on the metaverse. He got an honorary PhD from Morgan's Dr. Eugene Deloach
I
of
know
the
him.
School
Yeah.
of Engineering.
Yes.
But Tyrone is responsible for Bayer.
Ah, yeah, I did the conference
BEYA.org,
before. Yes,
which
yeah.
began as the Black Engineer of the Year Awards. Now it's Be Everything You Are. And this is 40 years of conferences, most of which were here in Baltimore, BEYA.org. And he deals with Martin Marietta, U.S. Army, U.S. Navy, people that make airplanes and all kinds of engineering. And this show actually appears in STEM City, USA, of which I'm the news director. So it's his effort to help close the digital divide and ensure that Black and brown people are part of it.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe you can make an introduction. We can chat.
As soon as I get off this phone, and I want you to save the date. Are you in town in Baltimore on June the 26th?
I should be, yeah.
Well, we'd like to recognize you, sir, with the Black Wall Street Award. We celebrate Black entrepreneurs and professionals, as well as the people who support them regardless of race.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, yeah. Send me the information. I'll definitely come through. Love the support.
Good deal.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel
We'll
honored.
connect you with Dr. T.H.E.M, and we'll schedule you for June 26th. And we have to bring you back. Please send me the details for Philadelphia. I might just have to shoot up there. I want to learn more about AI.
Yeah.
I want my new website to have whatever AI features it ought to have.
Yeah. 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 Let me see. I'm gonna send you this right now. Diversitech. I'll send it to you. I think we still have some tickets going on that you can get. So
And did we plug your website, how people can get in touch with you? So let me give you a chance. I'm gonna back off of the screen and give you however long you need to sell Jeffrey Stanford Scruggs CTO venture for.
Thank you. You can find me once again. My name is Jeffrey Stanford Scruggs. You can find me on Instagram, Light Pharaoh. You can also check out Venture for Them at ventureforthem.com. Feel free to follow us on Instagram, Venture for Them, or LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn at Jeffrey Scruggs. Just search me, and feel free to connect and just send me a message. I'm open to talking regardless. So, all right.
Great job, Jeffrey Scruggs. Thank you again to Alexis Coates of Black Business Review. They just had a golf tourney, and we should be getting him back in the studio pretty soon. My name's Donnie Glover. Up today, down tomorrow. Do your day, and everything will follow. Nothing to it but to do it. I got to do it, regardless of how I feel. I am somebody. I am my brother's keeper. Good morning, world.